Hello there again. This is AGRC 223 coming at you with Unit 9. We're going to talk alfalfa insects in this lecture. So let's get right to our topic here. This should be a rather short video to listen to. Then I'll add some supplemental content in this section so you can actually see some of these diseases scouted by professionals out in the field. Let's look first at alfalfa weevil that's found everywhere in the United States. Anywhere where you grow alfalfa, you've got to be worried about alfalfa weevil. So damage done by the larvae, feeding on the tips of the new plants, that new lush growth out there, that's what they prefer, just like you and I wouldn't eat the stem of the lettuce plant. We'd eat the nice lush leaves, and they actually can strip the entire plant clean if they are allowed to do so, if they are given enough time. And so obviously as you watch that happen, your field turns from that nice pretty luscious green color that we're used to seeing out there to kind of a whitish color, or you might find even spots of that as this particular insect sets in. Insecticides control these quite effectively, but first off, you have to time them up with your agronomist out there before they get out with the spray rig or before you go out there with your own rig, because there is a withdrawal time to cutting before you can cut and then process this hay for feeding. So you want to be really cautious. Some, whenever they detect a problem out there, they're just going to go ahead and get the mower and mow hay, even if it's a little bit early. Ideal conditions for this one to cause a problem. Early first harvest, sometimes you'll see weevil that feed on the new growth coming right in for second cutting, and they'll feed right on the crown buds, which is obviously gonna top out their growth, and the plant will respond by growing more, branching out more, but you certainly never want to kill that bud if you can avoid it. Late in the harvest, late in the growing season, it feeds on that regrowth, and then it'll damage that crop before it goes into dormancy. So now you've got a situation where you have to worry about a crop being at risk for winter kill if it's not healthy enough before it overwinters and goes dormant for that winter time. So certainly you want to be aware of this particular problem out here. Here's a photo of what one of those guys looks like, kind of a common weevil-looking type animal, type insect there. Very, kind of similar body shape to the corn weevil that you're used to seeing out there as well. Here's a test trial pictures, and you can see where the alfalfa weevil have caused a problem. You have treated and untreated areas, and you can see quite clearly what the difference in the treated and untreated areas look like. You can see that it's cleaning out those leaves and causing chlorosis of the plant. Next is the potato leafhopper, and again punctures the leaves, sucks out the juices, and causes chlorosis of the plant as it grows and stunts that. Oftentimes the life cycle does not allow this particular insect to cause problem in the first cutting, but every cutting after that is susceptible to potato leafhopper. These guys sometimes are very susceptible also to weather changes, so be aware that life cycle may be cut into by those. But the leafhopper has to have a good succulent food supply in order to survive, otherwise they die off. If you've got a first year new seeding out there, really pay attention for the potato leafhoppers. They really love those. You got a lot of good lush growth. You set it up very nicely, probably fertilized it well as a new seeding, spent the money that you should have to get you a nice new hayfield coming on, and this particular insect can come in and really cause significant first year damage. Again, very susceptible to insecticides. There's some resistant varieties out there, so if you needed to go out and spray, you could. Most of the time, the best way is to just get your mower out and mow hay again a little early, cut their life cycle out from underneath them, and then you will have won that battle without any additional chemical application or time. Here's what they look like, little guys, and right in on the leaf picture here. They're always green in color, green to opaque and color like that. But here's the disease that they'll cause. Notice the leaves really chlorosis, burning of the edges. The stem is even getting a little bit brown there, just because the juices are not flowing through the plant, feeding the plant like you would like for them to. One that's much less common, and as we get to the end of this section, told you it would be a short lecture, is the alfalfa seed chalkid. These cause extensive damage to the seedling. So a new seeding out there, you would want to be very cautious of. The adults deposit the egg on that developing seedling. The hatched larvae then devour what's inside that seed, that endosperm that's inside there. There's several generations per season of these guys. They overwinter quite nicely in seed and can reinfest the next crop. So here, one of the things to cut back on this guy is to make sure and contain your road ditches, keep those mowed back and groomed appropriately. That'll help you control this thing so that there's not anything really appealing for them there to feed on. Alfalfa seed cleaning and good seed quality really cuts back on this one and has eliminated this problem. So this is much, much less common than either of the other, any of the other insects that we've talked about in this section, because it'll blow out the lightweight seeds, the seed quality, the quality control at the seed house for the alfalfa seed that you're paying for nowadays. You most of the time will restrict this one from being passed on from farm to farm. Bottom line, I think as I mentioned in the alfalfa disease section, is just don't ever forget to go scout your alfalfa fields. They'll tell you a lot, and get out of the pickup truck and drive out there. The potato leaf hopper you can see hopping from leaf to leaf. You'll see them fluttering around out there if you have an infestation happening. And I know though that one is quite common in the area. Alfalfa weevil is quite common in our area here in southern Illinois. So be aware of those guys and have a strategy to handle them when you are encountering those in the problem. Hopefully that's helpful here in wrapping up Unit 9, AGRC 223 Alfalfa Insects.